In the headlines, Doidere re-elected as Bayelsa State Governor. Over 30 fishermen killed in boat mishap in Taraba. Police foiled terrorist attack in Katsina. Rescue 3 kidnapped victims. On the foreign scene, UN holds day of mourning for 101 colleagues killed in Israel-Palestine fighting. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Abdurrahman Omar. Thanks for joining. And now the news in full. Governor Doidere of Bayelsa has been declared winner of the governorship election. INEC declared him winner after polling 175,196 votes to defeat APC's Timifere Silva, who came second with 110,108 votes. In another development, the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC has declared the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC in the November 11 governorship election in Kogi State, Ahmed Ododo, winner of the poll. Ahmed defeated his closest rival in the contest, a candidate of the Social Democratic Party, SDP Murtala Ajaka, in what has been a keen contest for the governor's seat. Trust TV Sheffield Suleiman now reports.
Ahmed Osman Ododo of APC, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected.
The governorship election in Kogi State has been won and lost after months of contestation and heated political campaign. The returning officer for the election made the declaration despite plans by INEC to conduct fresh elections across 9 wards in Ogori-Mogongo Council, with growing complaints of alleged overvoting in some polling units. Announcing the results, APC's Ahmed Ododo polled 446,237 to secure a landslide victory, beating his closest rival Murtala Ajaka of the SDP, who scored 259,053 votes, as party agents expressed mixed reactions on the conduct of the exercise.
Yes, it's an election period. Everybody needs to talk and everybody needs to make complaint. An electoral process is a procedure which starts and must end. We're happy today that the INEC, I commend INEC for taking all the complaints from other parties, and they treated it. At the end of the day, they now find out that all their agitation and noise was just for them to be heard. But all the same, we're calling on all the parties to come and join hands with the new government. We run an open government in Kogi State, and I know that the incoming governor will definitely put his arm open for the other parties to come and be part of the government.
They complained yesterday as to the outcome of the results that was uploaded from the beavers to the IRF, where there were massive overvoting, even in the local government of upward of about 80,000. Difference between accredited voters and the vote that was in excess, and the National Commissioner issued a statement and a release, which is signed, to say that this is unacceptable and that it will be looked into. But they never did.
The announcement by INEC sent APC supporters into a frenzy as they jubilate through the night with security agents on high alert to maintain law and order. From Lokoja, the Kogi State capital, Shapiro Suleiman, Trust TV News.
Now, the off-cycle elections in Imo, Kogi and Bayelsa continue to generate reactions as public debate remains polarized over the credibility of the exercise. As the dust settles following the declaration of winners by INEC, election observers have begun rating the quality of the elections and the performance of the stakeholders involved in the electoral process. Dokas Yakubu reports.
The battle for the governorship seat is over in what many describe as a largely peaceful but somewhat flawed exercise. As the controversy around the election continues to divide opinions, Yaga Africa, which is a non-profit organization promoting participatory democracy, human rights and civic participation, youth initiative for advocacy, growth and advancement, believes there have been substantial improvements in the just concluded off-cycle governorship elections.
In Imo State, the beavers worked throughout the day in 94% of polling units. However, it malfunctioned, and where cases where it malfunctioned and it was fixed was in about 3% of polling units. In Kogi, the beavers worked throughout the day in 94% of polling units. It malfunctioned and it was fixed in 5% of polling units. And cases where it malfunctioned and it wasn't fixed was recorded in 1% of polling units.
While monitoring the exercise, Yaga Africa deployed the process and results verification for transparency methodology to observe Imo and Kogi state elections. Despite the reported challenges in the conduct of the exercise, the organization commended INEC's response to the reports of pre-filled result sheets in Kogi while urging the commission to ensure election fraud and malpractices are prosecuted.
The commission, and in this case INEC's prompt response to the report of cases of pre-filled result sheets, that's from EC8As, in Kogi, was equally impressive. We hope that the Commission will fulfill its commitment to ensuring the culprits face the full wrath of the law. We hope that the reports, of several electoral offenses, compromise and unprofessional conduct on the part of police officers are duly investigated and that the culprits are properly punished.
The need for a critical review of the electoral process has been highlighted to ensure sustainability and development of Nigeria's election system. Dorcas Yakubu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Following the conclusion of the November 11th off-cycle elections in Imo, Kogi and Bayelsa States, the Center for Democracy and Development has highlighted incumbency factor, identity politics, vote trading and other issues as some of the significant challenges faced during the exercise. The credibility of the election has become the subject of public scrutiny, with observers giving mixed reviews. Noel Samson has more.
Election observers have begun reviewing the quality and credibility of the exercise as INEC concludes the conduct of the off-season elections. For the Center for Democracy and Development, there is need to be an overhaul of the responsibility in election management that will improve the process.
The statement is set in the broader context of the economic, political, and socio-cultural environment, which not only frames but continues to pose challenges for the country's competitive party and electoral politics. Major features of this environment are the following: incumbency, identity, institutions, inducements, information disorder. These features have in recent years progressively constituted more disturbingly than before, and fetters on the country's electoral democracy, despite limited success in sanitizing the country's electoral process.
While the center identified the prevailing challenge that characterized Nigerian elections, they also recommended possible solutions to remedy them.
So, what is important is that we look at those elements of the political environment which continue to pose serious challenges to the conduct of democracy in this country. The political parties themselves are not mirror of what democracy should be. And they are the ones who, of course, by constitution, by any arrangement, will form governments. So I think the point is that for Nigerians to start making it clear to the political parties that they are the problem. But we keep to encourage them by diverting attention from what they are not doing right to looking at problems or failures in other institutions of society. And they are doing all their best to delegitimize the electoral process in this country.
The off-cycle elections have left much to be desired as complaints and controversies through the conduct of the exercise. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, in a sad development, over 30 fishermen, including children and women, died in an engine boat mishap. The boat was conveying fishermen and their families from Ibi local government area to the eastern parts of the country for fishing activities. According to reports, the engine boat conveying more than 50 fishermen, all from the same town, sailed from Ibi and capsized at an area known as Ayishi and Zabu, located at the boundary between Taraba and Benue states along River Benue. Eyewitnesses say in the incident, more than 20 children died and 12 of the parents also died in the mishap. Meanwhile, Governor Abo Kebas has described the latest boat mishap involving fishermen from Ibi as a terrible tragedy, coming shortly after one of its kind at Karim Lamido. Now, meanwhile, the Katsina Police Command has foiled a suspected kidnap attempt at Gugalo village in the Jibia local government area of the state and rescued 3 kidnapped victims. This is contained in a statement on Monday in Katsina by ASP Ali Abubakar Sadiq, the spokesman of the command. The team accordingly had continued to cover the surrounding bushes until November 12th, as the team succeeded in tracking down the suspected kidnappers, engaging them in a gun battle. Abubakar Sadiq said all the kidnapped victims were successfully rescued unhurt, adding that efforts are on to arrest the fleeing suspects as the investigation proceeds. Trust TV's Abdullahi Hamadi gives us an update.
Gugalo is a farming community in Jibia local government area of Katsina State, which is being threatened by incessant bandits attacks in the past. Though the community is making frantic efforts to secure residents from bandits' attacks through its vigilantes, police and other strategies, yet the bandits made some attempts to attack the village, abduct people, rustle animals, and perpetuate their heinous crimes. Some residents who spoke to Trust TV News on condition of anonymity said the bandits have been visiting the area disguising as travelers. Well, on noticing the suspicious movement of the bandits, the villagers quickly mobilized residents and informed the Jibia Divisional Police Headquarters to be on the alert in the event of any attack. On the 11th November, to be precise, the bandits came in large number wielding dangerous weapons and shooting sporadically in the air just to scare residents. They attacked Gugalo community and went away with 3 people. However, because of the prompt response from the police and a good understanding existing between the vigilantes guarding the community and other security operatives, they quickly mobilized and chased the gunmen, exchanged fire and overpowered them, and they subsequently rescued the victims unhurt. Now, residents of Gugalo village are saying they want the government to deploy security operatives to the area to reduce the pressure on the vigilante group and the police who have to rush to the area from Jibia, which is about 17 to 25 kilometers away, anytime there is an attack. Though they admitted that the area is now calm with residents going about their normal businesses, but they still insist that they need reinforcement of securities and urged the Korada administration to sustain the current tempo of dealing with the bandits.
Now, the troops of the 1 Mechanized Division and Operation Wild Punch of the Nigerian Army have killed 3 suspected bandits during a clearance operation in Kajuru local government area of Kaduna State. According to a statement by the Acting Deputy Director of Army Public Relations Officer of the 1 Mechanized Division, Lieutenant Colonel Musa Haya, the troops on Sunday, November 12th, carried out the clearance operation around the Maru Chibia Forest general area of Kajuru local government, during which they made contact with the bandits and immediately engaged them in a heavily gun battle. He disclosed that one of the bandits was neutralized by the troops, forcing the rest to flee in disarray, with gunshot wounds into the surrounding forest. He said that troops during the operation recovered an AK-47 rifle, 1 locally fabricated AK-47 rifle, ammunition, and 1 mobile phone. The troops also carried out similar operations at Kawara and Filinjalu villages in a local government area during which they neutralized another bandit and recovered arms and ammunition, while others escaped with gunshot wounds. In another development, 2 street cleaners were killed on Monday by an unidentified driver attempting to escape a raid by officers of the Lagos State Traffic Management Agency at Charlie Boy bus stop via Oshodi Bagada Expressway in Lagos State. The lifeless bodies of the cleaners were seen laid in a drainage channel, as were Lucas Mount. The gathering of Lucas and other street cleaners led to blockade of the road, leaving commuters stranded for hours. According to eyewitnesses, the victims, who were said to be from the same family, were hit by a vehicle whose driver lost control, swerving to escape an early morning raid by Lastma. At the venue, some street cleaners were seen ranting, accusing the state government of endangering their lives. Meanwhile, there was a mild protest against the operation of Lastma at Ilezik bus stop, close to Ikeja Along. Rebels who participated in the protest carried placards bearing inscriptions to express their grievances against Lasma. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has approved a draft property tax regulation for Abuja that will see property owners start paying taxes on their properties, as entrenched in the Capital Gains Tax Act 2004. It was gathered that the FCT Internal Revenue Service had begun the implementation of capital gains tax in Abuja. This was revealed by the Executive Chairman FCT IRS Harun Abdullahi while speaking to journalists in Abuja. He added that the Abuja Revenue Service had been able to grow its IGR to 140 billion naira. The CGT charges a tax of 10% on the total amount of chargeable gains after making allowable deductions from the computation of such gains accruing to any person on the disposal of chargeable assets in a year under evaluation. Speaking on measures instituted by the service to drive revenue for the FCT, Abdullahi said the minister had approved some important mechanisms to achieve this. You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up ahead. Mounting economic pressure threatens the livelihood of stonemasons in Jigawa. Details of that and more after the break. Please stay with us.
It was never a consensus. We did all our best. You see, in politics, you give your contribution to the best of your ability.
If you want, I'll forward to you this statement. You go to this bank and verify.
But there are people who say not spending money is not about you in itself.
Let me finish.
Because there's so much to be done.
Let me finish. Now, you don't allow me to explain myself.
The recent development shows abductions are now a factor of informants embedded in community.
It's not about the people of Katsina to say that, no, during my administration I was able to stop insecurity. No, it's about collective responsibility for all of us.
And what we should ask ourselves is not what has been seen, is the life better? Are there more people who are unemployed who are not become employed? Is the level of corruption has gone down? Is there inclusion? All those issues.
We're actually a gas country with associated oil. Our focus has always been on oil, that we have never paid attention, significant attention to gas.
To do it effectively, we need to have honest conversation with ourselves. Government needs to come down from its higher horse and communicate with the people and build trust.
There must be a solution. We cannot continue this way. They must come back to the table and agree. So whose child will do deny education? All these children that sit for jam, they want to go to higher institutions.
But just a short while ago you were saying that why bring 10 children when you cannot cater for them? So why bring more universities when you cannot cater for the existing?
That's great.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is the news update on Trust TV, and here is a recap of some of our top stories. Doidere re-elected as Bayelsa State Governor, and over 30 fishermen killed in boat mishap in Taraba. Now, in a shocking incident, a 45-year-old man identified as Wawe Nokomari has been arrested by the Adamawa State Police Command for allegedly shooting his friend, Ham Musa. The incident occurred in the Jabi community of Sheleng local government area, leaving the victim critically injured. According to SP Suleiman Yahaya Ngoroje, the spokesperson for the police command, the accused was intoxicated after consuming a popular local beer before opening fire on his friend while they were working on a rice farm. The two men, who were both reportedly drunk, had a misunderstanding that resulted in the shooting. The accused had allegedly borrowed the weapon used to shoot his friend from a vigilante. The victim is currently receiving medical treatment and is said to be in a stable condition. The Commissioner of Police, CP Afolabi Babatola, has ordered the Criminal Investigation Department to conduct a thorough investigation into the matter. SP Ngoroji further disclosed that the Commissioner of Police has ordered the arrest of the vigilante who gave his gun to the suspect. Now, people who manually break rocks in Jigawa State say the lack of government patronage is making it difficult for their craft to thrive. The rock breakers say despite their physically challenging occupation, they are struggling to cope with the harsh economic environment. Trust TV's Adamu Imam files in this report.
Rock breaking is a physically demanding job, which means most people cannot take it on. But someone has to do the job because of the demand for rocks in the construction industry. There are huge deposits of rocks in Duse, the Jigawa State capital, which means there is a market where forces of demand and supply can interact. As I'm talking to you now, no one is patronizing our business here, unless those engaged in the petty building construction. We can't remember when last government officials came to buy from us. We just sit and watch. Only God that is helping us. This is hard labor, so he questioned that arises is why have people chosen this as an occupation. Before we had some capital for small business, but things have turned upside down. If we search for a job, it's never forthcoming. The capital has disappeared. Instead of to remain idle, we decided to join this hard labor to manage our lives. If we can have a strong union in this job, we are good to go. But the reverse is the case. We have no one to champion our cause here, so that we should speak with one voice to boost our business morale and progress in the end. This may not be an attractive job because it is physically and mentally draining, but it provides means of livelihood to many youths who otherwise will have been unemployed. Adamu Imam, Trust TV News, Jigawa.
And now, away from Nigeria, UN compounds across Asia on Monday lowered the blue and white UN flag to half-mast to honor its workers who have died during the war on Gaza. WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom warns of a dire and perilous situation, saying more patients, including premature babies, are dying. Gaza's two largest hospitals, Al-Shifa and Al-Quds, have both closed. Israeli snipers continue to fire at anyone near Al-Shifa hospital, trapping thousands inside. More than 11,100 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli attacks on Gaza since October 7th, although the number has not been updated since contact was lost with key hospitals on Friday. In Israel, the death toll from Hamas attacks stand at more than 1,200. Rights group Amnesty International says EU countries must call for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. And now on sports news, Lesotho will arrive Oyo on Monday for their 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying match day one encounter against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Leslie, the Swiss North Ice side, will make the trip from Johannesburg, South Africa. The players and their officials are expected to fly straight to the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, before connecting another flight to Oyo. The team started preparations for the game in Johannesburg last Friday. Lesotho will confront the highly fancied Super Eagles at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, Oyo, on Thursday. They will host the Squirrels of Benin Republic in their next game at the Moses Mobida Stadium on Tuesday, November 21. And with that, we have come to the end of the Trust TV's news update. Do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms and our YouTube live stream for more news programs and documentary. I am Abdurrahman Omar. Thanks for watching and bye for now.